What would you do if you discovered that the gods themselves wanted you dead? This is the story of Perseus, a fisherman who learns that he is not an ordinary man, but the son of a god. Caught in a war between humanity and the mighty gods of Olympus, he must face terrifying monsters, deadly curses, and a beast so powerful that entire kingdoms tremble at its name. The story begins in ancient Greece, where people once worshipped the gods with complete devotion. But over time, humans become proud and rebellious. They stop fearing the gods and begin destroying statues and temples dedicated to them. Among the gods watching from Olympus is Zeus, the king of the gods. Zeus believes that humans and gods are connected through faith. As people stop worshipping, the gods grow weaker and angrier. Meanwhile, a humble fisherman named Perseus lives peacefully with his adoptive family. One day, while at sea, they discover a mysterious coffin floating in the water. Inside is a woman who has died and a baby who somehow survived. That baby is Perseus. Years later, Perseus grows into a brave young man, unaware of his true origins. One day, while fishing with his family, they witness soldiers destroying a giant statue of Zeus. This act of rebellion enrages the gods. Suddenly, dark-winged creatures known as harpies attack. The ship is destroyed, and Perseus watches helplessly as his entire family is killed. The attack is led by Hades, the god of the underworld. Heartbroken and furious, Perseus is captured by soldiers and taken to the city of Argos. There, King Cepheus and Queen Cassiopeia openly mock the gods, believing humanity no longer needs them. Their arrogance reaches its peak when Cassiopeia claims that her daughter Andromeda is more beautiful than the goddess Aphrodite herself. The insult proves disastrous. The ground shakes as Hades appears before the royal court. He announces that the gods have lost patience with humanity. As punishment, Zeus will unleash the legendary Kraken, a monstrous creature capable of destroying entire civilizations. There is only one way to stop it. In 10 days, Princess Andromeda must be sacrificed to the Kraken. If not, Argos will be completely destroyed. During the chaos, Hades reveals a shocking secret. Perseus is actually the son of Zeus. Long ago, Zeus fell in love with a mortal woman and fathered Perseus. Because of this, Perseus is a demigod, half human and half god. Furious that the gods caused his family's death, Perseus rejects his divine heritage and vows to fight as a man. A group of elite soldiers is assembled to find a way to defeat the Kraken. Perseus joins them, hoping to get revenge on Hades. Their journey leads them through dangerous lands filled with deadly creatures. Along the way, they meet a mysterious woman named Io. She reveals that she has been watching over Perseus for his entire life. She explains that the only weapon capable of stopping the Kraken is the head of Medusa. Medusa is a terrifying monster whose gaze can turn anyone into stone instantly. If Perseus can kill Medusa and bring back her head, he may be able to defeat the Kraken. The group continues their journey but soon encounters giant monstrous scorpions summoned by Hades. A brutal battle erupts, several soldiers are killed before the creatures are finally defeated. After the fight, the survivors are rescued by a group of desert sorcerers known as Jinn. These mysterious warriors agree to guide Perseus to Medusa's lair. Meanwhile, on Olympus, tension grows between Zeus and Hades. It becomes clear that Hades is manipulating events for his own gain. He feeds on human fear and suffering, becoming stronger every time people lose hope. His ultimate goal is to weaken Zeus and seize greater power for himself. Back on Earth, Perseus and his companions finally arrive at the temple where Medusa lives. Several soldiers are killed before the creatures are finally defeated. After the fight, the survivors are rescued by a group of desert sorcerers known as Jinn. These mysterious warriors agree to guide Perseus to Medusa's lair. Meanwhile, on Olympus, tension grows between Zeus and Hades. It becomes clear that Hades is manipulating events for his own gain. He feeds on human fear and suffering, becoming stronger every time people lose hope. His ultimate goal is to weaken Zeus and seize greater power for himself. Back on Earth, Perseus and his companions finally arrive at the temple where Medusa lives. The place is dark, silent, and filled with statues of her previous victims. One by one, the warriors enter the temple. The moment they hear movement, Medusa begins hunting them. She moves like a snake through the shadows, striking with deadly precision. Several warriors are turned into stone almost instantly. The survivors realize that looking directly at her means certain death. Using reflections and careful planning, they attempt to fight without meeting her gaze. The battle becomes a deadly game of survival. One after another, Perseus's companions fall. Finally, Perseus faces Medusa alone. Using his intelligence and courage, he manages to outsmart the monster and decapitates her. At last, he claims the legendary head, but victory comes at a terrible cost. Most of his allies are dead. As Perseus prepares to return to Argos, Hades launches another attack. During the confrontation, Io sacrifices herself to save Perseus. Her death devastates him, but there is no time to grieve. The Kraken is already approaching the city. Back in Argos, fear spreads throughout the kingdom. The people realize too late that the gods were not bluffing, but victory comes at a terrible cost. Most of his allies are dead. As Perseus prepares to return to Argos, Hades launches another attack. During the confrontation, Io sacrifices herself to save Perseus.
Scorpion's tails and sent flying across the field. While the monster is distracted, Draco seizes the chance. He jumps onto the giant scorpion and stabs its back using both of his blades. One of his men throws a spear to Draco. He uses it to stab through the scorpion's body, finally killing one of the vicious creatures. At the same time, Perseus attacks the giant monster furiously, but he is struck by its claws and knocked to the ground. The scorpion grabs Perseus and smashes him into a pillar. It attempts to kill him with its venomous tail. Io intervenes just before the final strike. She cuts off the creature's tail, saving Perseus. The scorpion quickly charges at Io. She is forced to hide inside a structure as the monster attacks viciously. Perseus rushes to save her at the last moment. Together, they run desperately as the scorpion pursues them. Realizing there is nowhere to run, Perseus throws Io to safety. He prepares to face the creature alone. The giant scorpion lunges at him with full force. It crashes into the structures and lands on the ground below. The people watch in shock, believing the demigod has been devoured. However, Perseus breaks free from the scorpion's stomach and kills the monster. Before they can celebrate, more soldiers run toward them. Additional scorpions appear from behind the hills surrounding the group. Just as the monsters are about to attack, they suddenly freeze. Chanting can be heard from a distance. Draco recognizes the mysterious figures as jinns. They are old enemies from battles fought many years ago. Perseus believes they are allies. The jinns are responsible for stopping the monsters. The jinns quickly take control of the giant creatures. They essentially tame the monsters and use them as transportation. Though hesitant at first, the soldiers decide to trust the jinns. This is the only way to reach their destination before the eclipse. Using the scorpions, the party travels across the lands with ease. They finally arrive at the Garden of Stygia, home of the dangerous witches. The group climbs the mountain as night falls. They carefully reach the peak and move toward the center. Soon, 3 hideous, eyeless creatures appear before them. The witches know exactly what the warriors are seeking. The monsters demand payment for their knowledge. They begin attacking the soldiers. Perseus steals the creature's single eye. He threatens to destroy it unless the witches reveal how to kill the Kraken. With no choice, the witches give their answer. Only Medusa can slay the giant beast as her gaze turns flesh into stone. Satisfied with the answer, Perseus throws the eye onto the ground. He plans to leave, but the witches warn him maniacally that he will die on this journey, no matter how much he tries. After hearing the unpleasant prophecy, many people abandon the mission. Only the soldiers and the leader of the Jinn remain. The Jinn desires vengeance on the gods for banishing his people to the deserts. While descending from the mountains, Perseus encounters a mysterious man approaching from behind. He soon realizes the figure is Zeus himself. Zeus tells Perseus that he will not defeat the Kraken, nor take vengeance on Hades. The witch's prophecy confirms this. Zeus offers protection to his son. He wants Perseus to live among the other gods in heaven. Perseus immediately refuses. He chooses to live and die as a man. Not wanting to see his son fail, Zeus gives him a golden coin. The coin will allow safe passage to Medusa's lair, which requires payment. After traveling across the lands, the group reaches a giant chasm in the earth. A ghostly river, covered in fog, appears before them. Perseus takes out the gold coin given by his father. The Jinn throws it into the water while chanting a spell, bribing the ferryman to take them into the underworld. Soon, countless dead souls rise from the water. They pull a giant boat toward the group. A sinister demon welcomes them aboard. They travel across the haunted river filled with molten rocks from the Earth's core. Eventually, they reach a clearing, signaling their destination. The soldiers move forward across a rocky field. They arrive at the entrance to Medusa's lair. Only men are allowed to enter, so Io waits behind for their return. The warriors enter the cave covered in lava. Countless statues of men are frozen in place, victims of Medusa's power. more. They hear a woman's maniacal laughter from afar. They realize the monster is nearby. Suddenly, multiple arrows are fired at the soldiers. Some fall into the lava pits below. Perseus desperately holds on while saving the djinn. Draco tells the warriors to chase Medusa quickly to flank her. Perseus throws the djinn onto the surface to save him. He saves himself as well. The two soldiers try to avoid the demon's gaze while hunting her. Many are turned into statues quickly, falling to the ground and breaking into pieces. Perseus runs desperately alongside the djinn. He hides from the demon while trying to avoid her arrows. They carefully move to stay out of her sight as she hunts for her prey. He tells his companion to wait while he lures the monster out. Perseus charges quickly into the openings, causing Medusa to chase him while trying to tear him to pieces. He continues to dodge the demon's attacks. Draco watches from afar, waiting for the perfect moment to ambush her. Perseus eventually lures Medusa back toward the djinn. He slashes at her head but misses. The creature captures him with her tail. Medusa attempts to turn the djinn to stone. Surprisingly, she fails because he has no flesh on his body. The djinn laughs at Medusa. He decides to blow himself up, causing a massive explosion that knocks both the monster and Perseus away. Before Medusa can recover, Draco appears above. He jumps onto a giant rock on the ceiling, breaking it and dropping it on the monster's tail. The creature is trapped on the ground. The demon looks back in anger. She turns Draco into a statue, giving Perseus a chance to aim for her head using the shield's reflections. Medusa lunges forward. Perseus leaps toward her, slashing furiously at her neck while keeping his eyes closed. He successfully cuts through her, causing her head to fall to the ground. Perseus survives as the only warrior carrying Medusa's head. However, he sees Io stabbed in the back by Acrisius. She's thrown against the walls like a rag doll. Furious, Perseus charges at Acrisius to avenge Io. He is overpowered and knocked to the ground. Perseus fights back, stabbing Acrisius in the leg. Still, he is no match for the monster's strength and is punched away. Seeing his friend on the ground, Perseus decides to use the weapon of the gods. He leaps into the air and strikes Acrisius. The battle turns in his favor as he forces the monster backward. Acrisius is overwhelmed. Perseus stabs him in the stomach. The monster transforms back into a human and falls into the abyss. Perseus rushes to Io to save her. She tells him to stop the Kraken instead and save the people of Argos before the eclipse. Io assures him that everything will be alright. Her body turns to dust as she vanishes. Before Perseus can mourn, he notices Pegasus flying toward him. The magical horse offers him a way back to Argos before the city is destroyed. As the eclipse approaches, the seafloor opens. Giant tentacles rise from the water, rushing toward the city and creating massive waves. The people realize the Kraken is coming. They tie Princess Andromeda to the platform, offering her as a sacrifice so everyone else can be spared. Giant tentacles erupt from the ocean. They smash into the city with enormous force, destroying everything in their path. The people run for their lives. At the same time, the palace in Olympus shakes violently. Hades reveals to Zeus that he has tricked the gods to make himself stronger. Since the Kraken is made from Hades' body, the destruction it causes increases his power while weakening everyone else. Meanwhile, Perseus flies closer to the Kraken, planning to slay the beast. Hades notices the demigod and attacks, transforming into numerous demons. The creatures steal Medusa's head. Perseus chases them closely, eventually arriving in the city where the giant tentacles are killing innocent people. He manages to shake off the demons by knocking them down. Perseus desperately tries to recover Medusa's head. Soon, the Kraken emerges from the ocean. Its massive body towers over the city as it roars furiously. Princess Andromeda cries helplessly at the sight of the monstrosity. Perseus continues to pursue the flying demon. He forces it into the air while barely escaping an attack from the Kraken. The warrior jumps from his flying horse. He grabs the creature, crashing both of them into buildings behind the princess. The Kraken lunges at Andromeda, planning to devour her in a single bite. Perseus grabs Medusa's head and runs toward the monster. He unleashes her gaze on the Kraken. The massive creature slowly turns to stone, screaming in agony. Its frozen body crushes buildings, killing those below. Andromeda falls into the ocean, landing safely in the water. The Kraken crumbles into pieces at the same time. Hades appears before Perseus, seeking vengeance for his monster. The demigod summons lightning from the sky. He hurls it at Hades, creating a powerful shockwave that sends the deity back to the underworld. Perseus jumps into the water. He swims to Andromeda and grabs her hand, saving her from drowning. Both make it safely onto the beach. Andromeda offers to make Perseus her husband for saving her life. He refuses, having no desire to become a king. After returning the princess to the people of Argos, Zeus visits Perseus again. The deity rewards his son by reviving Io, allowing Perseus to live the rest of his life with the woman he loves. So, what do you think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more. I'll see you next time.